What Donald Trump and his administration are doing in Los Angeles right now is backfiring on them in a massive way. You have thousands more people joining protests because of how angry they are at Donald Trump and their actions. You have celebrities coming out and condemning Donald Trump. It just continues to get worse for him by the minute and better for these protesters. So I want to give you a comprehensive look at how badly things are going for Donald Trump right now. And I want to start here with former Vice President Kamala Harris, who put out a statement on what's unfolding in Los Angeles tonight. And her statement is incredibly strong. It's also going incredibly viral. Less than an hour after it was posted, it has over 1.3 million views on Twitter or X. And that's just one social media platform. She wrote, "Los Angeles is my home, and like so many Americans, I am appalled at what we are witnessing on the streets of our city. Deploying the National Guard is a dangerous escalation meant to provoke chaos. In addition to the recent ICE raids in Southern California and across our nation, it is part of the Trump administration's cruel, calculated agenda to spread panic and division. This administration's actions are not about public safety, they're about stoking fear of a community demanding dignity and due process. Protest is a powerful tool, essential in the fight for justice, and as the LAPD, mayor, and governor have noted, demonstrations in defense of our immigrant neighbors have been overwhelmingly peaceful," which is true. "I continue to support the millions of Americans who are standing up to protect our most fundamental rights and freedoms." Now, meanwhile, while Kamala Harris is posting that statement, Donald Trump is raging on social media. He has clearly become more and more unhinged in recent days, even putting out this statement saying it's necessary for him to liberate Los Angeles, and he's directing the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Secretary of Defense, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, in coordination with all other relevant departments and agencies, to take this action. We don't know what liberate Los Angeles means, but when Donald Trump says something like that, it cannot possibly be good. So he is losing it as people like Kamala Harris are coming out and condemning him. And as I mentioned, these protests in Los Angeles only continue to grow as Donald Trump continues to try to clamp down on people using their First Amendment right. Like, just take a look at this video of tens of thousands of people protesting.
Who's got the power? We got the power. What kind of power? People power. Trump, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Trump, escucha, estamos en la lucha. Trump, escucha.
And we're seeing videos like this all over LA. Like, take a look at another angle of that protest. It is huge.
Our streets. Our streets. Our streets.
Yeah, I mean, these protests are major, and as you can see, there's nobody engaging in violence or anything like the Trump administration is claiming. This is one of the largest protests in Los Angeles right now, and it's overwhelmingly peaceful. There's nothing going on here that's against the law. These are people using their First Amendment rights to tell Donald Trump to shove it, to put it very bluntly to you. Here's another video I want to show you, which is kind of a standoff taking place between police and protesters. Look at how large that crowd is. I mean, it looks like it just kept going back as the camera was panning. Like, when I said that more and more people are joining these protests as a result of Donald Trump and his actions, I wasn't kidding. These protests in the past couple of days have only grown. More and more people are using their voices to slam Donald Trump, to tell him that they do not agree with what he's doing. And now it's actually spread to different cities. It's not just staying in LA. This was Houston, Texas, just a moment ago, where people are chanting against Donald Trump and ICE. Have a look.
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE!
Yeah, these protests are spreading to different cities. This is devastating for Donald Trump. What Trump wanted to do was come in and basically eliminate people from protesting. They can't protest. That's exactly why he was saying, oh, you can't wear a mask during these protests. What are these people hiding? That's why he's threatening people with arrest. He wanted to come in here and basically shut it all down. Instead, what people have done is get out there, make their voices heard. The protests in LA have expanded massively, and now people in other cities like Houston, for example, are also marching in the streets. Now, this is not where it stops in terms of bad news for Donald Trump, because there's also a unity among the Democratic Party right now, and you're seeing it in things like this. Every single Democratic governor signed on to a letter condemning Donald Trump. And I mean every single governor. If you live in a blue state or a red state with a blue governor, you probably see their name at the top of this letter, and they all signed on to it. It says Donald Trump's move to deploy California's National Guard is an alarming abuse of power. Governors are the commanders-in-chief of their National Guard, and the federal government activating them in their own borders without consulting or working with a state's governor is ineffective and dangerous. Further, threatening to send the U.S. Marines into American neighborhoods undermines the mission of our service members, erodes public trust, and shows the Trump administration does not trust local law enforcement. It's important we respect the executive authority of our country's governors to manage their National Guards, and we stand with Governor Newsom, who has made it clear that violence is unacceptable and that local authorities should be able to do their jobs without the chaos of this federal interference and intimidation. This is a huge deal. Every single Democratic governor being united against Donald Trump is the kind of unity that we've been searching for in the Democratic Party, and it's the kind of unity that hurts Donald Trump. While the Republican Party is being displayed as this dictatorial movement that looks to put down protests, the Democratic Party is united in our efforts against Donald Trump. But that hasn't stopped Trump and his buddies from lying about the protests, trying to paint it as a riot or overwhelmingly violent or things like that. Matter of fact, we're seeing this right now with clips like this. You're seeing this on Twitter where someone says, chaos. Los Angeles looks like a collapsing third world country under Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom's lack of leadership. Absolute madness. And they're displaying vehicles that are on fire, police cars. But this is not from present day. This is an old video. This is actually from 2020. They are recirculating old videos in order to paint a narrative about what's happening in California. And they're not only getting fact-checked by Twitter with these community notes, but they're also getting fact-checked by Governor Newsom's office, saying this video is not from this year. Misinformation like this only adds to the chaos the Trump administration is seeking. Check your sources before sharing info. And even celebrities are jumping in, fact-checking all of the claims from Donald Trump. Sam Witwer, who is an actor, said, I live here, this is true, and put out this statement saying, in the coming days, the national media is going to call LA a war zone. But the truth is, the folks protesting today were worried about their friends, their neighbors, and their community. A few idiots will throw a rock and it'll take over the entire narrative. But just know, LA is afraid right now because their coworkers were kidnapped at work, because the guy who sold them dinner was snatched by masked men, and because a bunch of neighbors' parents straight up never came home. As Trump gleefully escalates this with the National Guard, violence is inevitable, but just know this protest started from a place of protection, a place of love. We love our neighbors, we love our family, we love our community. And he's absolutely right. A lot of these protests, again, we just saw the clips, are overwhelmingly peaceful. Any escalation has been done by Donald Trump. And the last example I want to show you in this broader story is of this backfiring on Trump is celebrities are also not only fact-checking Trump, but talking about their experiences. Phineas, who works with Billie Eilish a lot, she is a huge musician, put out this statement on Instagram, on social media, saying tear gassed almost immediately at the very peaceful protest downtown. They're inciting this. He is putting the blame on the Trump administration, the people who are escalating the situation, which takes it away from the protesters and puts it on Trump, which is necessary. And he has a large platform. So people across the political spectrum, across the United States, are recognizing that what Donald Trump is doing here is incredibly dictatorial. He's trying to remove people's First Amendment rights, and that's not going over well with the people of the United States. So this entire operation has backfired incredibly badly on Donald Trump. And while he continues to rant on Truth Social and post relentlessly, the people will continue to be out there making their voices heard. So listen, I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also, drop a like on the video and comment. Let me know what you think about this story. And as always, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.